while to actually get through them, but I'm reading a lot of them at the same time. I read a lot of popular books this month, so you might find my opinion interesting. Maybe if you want to read these. I read from Chestnut Spring series 2 books, and I read two other very popular books. One of them is a recent one of them is like one that is like TikTok famous, let's just say. But yeah, this is the intro, and I hope you like this video, and if you do, please subscribe and leave your comment, suggest me a book to read. Like always, I'm open to suggestions and love reading your guys' comments. It's been a while since I filmed the video, so if I speak like weird, that's because of that. See, I just, jumped straight into it, but today I didn't put the light on because I like this vibe. And yeah, so what should we talk about first? This month I had a 5-star read, just one, but the other 3 were, it's just not for me. These are books that were really, really hyped up, so I thought I would like them, and I went into it really positively, especially the Chestnut Spring. So let's just start with that. I read the first book called Flawless, and if you don't know, Chestnut Springs is about a cowboy meets a city girl. Romance takes place in Canada, in Calgary, I think, in a semi-rural town, small town called Chestnut Springs, where one of the characters has to do with bull riding, one of the characters, again, from a city, so very opposite worlds are colliding. And these are like spicy books, so these are spicy romance books. So if you like something like that, then maybe this is for you. Maybe this is just not it for me, and I need to stop this kind of genre. I don't have anything against spice, but I felt like these books, especially the second one I read, were a little bit degrading almost, towards like the woman in the relationship, and I'll get into it. But the first one, Flawless, is about Red in summer, and I mentioned it in the end of my other video, so if you don't want to like listen to what it's about, you can skip. But it's about Red in summer. Summer works for a PR firm that her dad owns and is the president of, and she gets assigned you know, whenever it's kind of like watching reality TV. But I felt it was like really, really bad, to be honest. Apparently the author wrote like 3 books in 1 year, so I guess it kind of is explained in a way, because like if you do spend more time writing the book, then it'll be better, I feel like. But yeah, this could be also a guilty pleasure kind of thing, since it's like spicy and romance. So the whole point of the book is like Red and Summer meet up, and it's supposed to be like enemies to lovers, but I didn't really think they were enemies at all. So I don't agree with the marketing of the book in that way. Like everybody talks about it as if like, oh my god, it's enemies to lovers, but Summer is just there to like work, and Red is just being a man-child this whole time. I hated Red as a character, and Summer as well. I just didn't like them that much. Red was very much giving man-child. Like, he kept asserting that he doesn't need a babysitter, he doesn't need this and that. Like, he's 35 years old and stuff, and all of these books have an age gap, which I don't know, it's okay because everyone is like over 20, but the actions of Red, like, you could be 18, you know what I mean? Like, he was going and TPing his neighbor's tractor with his brothers, like doing stuff that totally a 35-year-old would never do, and it wasn't believable. It wasn't cute or charming in any way. Like, you know how a character could be silly and childish but still like endearing. But he was just annoying. And wanted respect when he wasn't doing anything to earn it. Like, wanted to be left alone and to be trusted, but he wasn't, you know, doing the work. Right? I guess that was supposed to be the character development, but I felt like it was like really cheap the way that was written, and kind of like underwhelming, honestly. Like, the love story, like, you know, with these books you can tell when you're going into it, like, the 2 main characters are gonna go and fall in love. So it's like, I don't know, the build up didn't really do it for me. And they mentioned that there's like a one bed trope in this book, and it's like they go to a hotel and her AC doesn't work or something, was 2 stars, I think, and because I enjoyed reading that one more. But I gave Reckless 1 out of 5 because I was just like, I was just like, Actually, I went into Reckless and I was like, oh, this is funny, you know. They kind of had some sort of banter. Like the guy character Theo sounded way more funny, but towards the end of the book, I feel like Theo became, I don't know, he didn't have the same funny side of him that much, and it was just all like, I love yous and stuff. Like, I get it, it's supposed to be cute, but I still want the funny to continue. But Winter, she was described as cold, and she's Summer's sister, and I don't want to spoil like the conflict between Summer and Winter, but there was something going on to do with, I guess I want to spoil it. Okay, skip like literally 1 minute if you don't want to get spoiled. But something happened between Winter and Summer where Summer married this man called Winter. Oh my gosh, they are sisters. Summer is from another woman that was like their housekeeper or something, and Kip, their dad, is just all around not a great dad. He didn't really treat Winter very well. Winter's mom is also a little bit of psycho. Did not treat Summer very well. So there's this like animosity between them. But also Winter marries this guy, this doctor, who used to look after Summer because she had some medical problems, and also took advantage of Summer because he kind of groomed Summer into this sort of like borderline like predatory relationship. Like at the second she was 18, like this doctor got with her, and after he was not interested in her anymore, he married Winter, and Summer never told her sister what had happened between them, which I thought was so dumb because I would have told her. I don't know. I thought that was like such a bitchy move of Summer to do. Like, why wouldn't you tell your sister the true nature of this man, since he's literally a predator? Like, why are you letting your sister marry this man? Like, no matter what happens between you two, you're still sisters. And I feel like if that was something like that happened to me, which would never happen, but I would still tell her, no matter if we were in a fight or there were disagreements between us. Like, I would never want my sister to be with a predator, you know what I mean? And she just let Winter marry that man, and I was like, what? But anyway, that is like the big conflict of the first book, and it carries on to the second book where there's like a divorce happening, and the whole other conflict of the second book is like Winter and Theo. There's like an unplanned accidental pregnancy trope to see him in person. Like, if this was something happening in real life, I feel like you would go and find this person in person, you know, to tell him face to face. Like, first of all, why would you deliver this news over the phone? Second of all, if you don't know the phone number, you can just go and ask your sister. You can just go and ask his best friend, which your sister is dating. You can go to that house and shop and like see him. He's always there. What the hell? Like, it just was so unrealistic and stupid. This miscommunication, and the whole time, like this whole book, he is saying to her like, I love you, and like, I really do want to be with you, and I love that we have a baby together. I'm just so upset like that I didn't know about this, but what, you know, what can you do at that point? Like, what's done is done. Like, the baby's out there in the life, and you didn't know about it for, you know, many months, but you know about it now. But I mean, it's great that he wants to be there for her and the baby, and he's like trying to tell her for hundreds of pages, and she's just like, oh, he doesn't really love me, he doesn't really do this, da, 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 da. And I just wanted to punch her in the face, like, girl, get yourself together. He's just saying that he loves you. Can you not? Like, I felt like it was written just to prolong the book and to create some sort of stupid conflict, because without that, if, you know, the character is just ready to be a dad, ready to be in a relationship, that's what he wanted in the first place. Like, he was in love in the first place with her, and if you do not put this misunderstandings in her mind, like, there wouldn't have been a book, and the author just couldn't find a way to keep the book going. So I felt like it was really boring. Like, it was like a really cheap way of keeping it going, in my opinion. I don't know, but yeah, that was reckless. And then I read Divine Rivals. Oh my god, guys, I love this book. 5 out of 5. I love it. It's a really easy to read kind of fantasy book. It's a young adult fantasy, I think, and it is about mainly two characters. One of them is called Iris Winnow, and the other one is called Roman. I love Roman. What's his surname? Oh my gosh, I cannot. And the second book is coming out this winter, I think. Am I wrong about this? But there's a second book coming, and it's supposed to delve into more of the like lore and fantasy aspect of it, and this was more about character building and like getting us into the story, but definitely great. Oh my god, what is this? I just wanted to tell you, I wrote it down. Roman kids, or kid Roman, I think it's Roman kid. So, how do I describe Divine Rivals? It's like really good. I recommend. Okay, that's not it, guys. I need to gather my thoughts. Iris works at a newspaper called The Gazette with Roman in an office. I really like the other character in the office that sadly we didn't get to talk about or interact with later on in the book, because she like leaves the Gazette, but in the beginning of the book she's working at this newspaper, and there's this whole thing about columnist position being available. So Roman and Iris are both, you know, writers for the Gazette, and they're both working towards getting this role. So this is why people who talk about this book say that it's an academic rivals to lover story, but I don't know. I feel like it's such a minuscule part is supposed to be like the good one and Dacre is supposed to be the bad one from the underworld kind of thing. And there's this whole lore that I guess Roman kind of explains through some books of his grandfather's, but besides that, it's not really that deep. It was more about the characters and like setting the scene, and more about Roman and Iris coming together. It's very emotional. There's some trigger warnings, like it talks about war and alcoholism in the beginning, and there's a lot of loss as war, and some imagery that might be disturbing, but I felt it was fine. Like, it is a YA book. I think it's okay. I don't think it's too much, and it's not gory or anything, but if you're affected by that sort of stuff, let me just mention that. But it follows the journey of Iris. I just don't want to say anything to you, to be honest, because I went into it blind and I really enjoyed it that way. So if you just know that, the main characters are Iris and Roman, and they work in a newspaper, and there's a war looming over them, that is all you need to know to go into this, in my opinion. But I want to talk about it because I want to share what I found very lovely to read, and just like a little bit of the plot I want to talk about. So again, if you do not want to be spoiled, skip ahead to the next book, because I read one more that I didn't talk about. So oh my gosh, Iris and Roman, it's like this whole thing. There's a magical typewriter basically that Iris and Roman both have, and the lore of it, like why it's magical and stuff, is explained later on. But Iris starts writing letters to an unknown person in the beginning of the book, and she just hopes that they go to Forrest, her brother, who's away at war, and she hasn't heard from him in months, and her mom's not doing well, and she just wants to, talk to someone. And it's just, then someone writes back to her, and she kind of develops a bond with this anonymous person that is writing if you weren't paying that much attention. And the stuff that happened between the two characters, Iris and Roman, I was like, that's a bit fast, guys. But at the same time, it's like war and like there's high stakes. Like, I don't know. It also felt a little bit Christian to me. Like, did you really have to do that? You know what I mean? Anyways, but yeah, I really, really, really enjoyed this book, and I recommend it if you like a heartwarming story about two young people getting together during an event that is so life-changing to them and to everybody else in their lives, and like the support and care that they give to each other, and like the connection they make at such a time where I think the book tries to make this point where you might think that it's not important to make these connections when there is such high stakes and damaging, like, I don't know, things that are going on that are bigger than them, basically. But it just is like, you know, there's always time and place for love, I guess. That's what it's trying to show. And the other book that I read is called If He Had Been With Me. If He Had Been With Me. And I gave this like a 2 out of 5. This is also a very popular like TikTok book. It's described as like so sad, and like I get it, like it is sad. It is about someone that has died, and it's very much, I don't know, it's like character based, I guess it's like that. It's very much like focused on a relationship with someone and misunderstandings and miscommunication. Again, oh my god, I hate miscommunication, but like it's stupid miscommunication. Do you know what I mean? Like, it didn't have to happen. Like, nothing had to have happened. But if he had been with me, I think it has another book probably in his perspective, and this is a hers perspective. It felt to me like a bad version of Everything I Never Told You, which I love that book. I love that book. That's like a 5 out of 5 for me. I really, really love that book. But this also felt like Romeo and Juliet. Like, it's like a young adult. Like, most of the book is like when they are teenagers, like middle school to teenagers, like growing up, a lot of growing pains. Just there was some relatable stuff. That's why I didn't give it like 1 star. There were some lines where I found like that is very relatable to be, you know, growing up and being a teen or in middle school, and how horrible the other kids could be, or just like the experience in general. It was like, yeah, this is relatable. And it started raining. Sorry, I'm distracted. But yeah. So I wrote something about this. Where is it? It is about Phineas and Autumn. So those are like the main 2 characters. I wanted to say for the other book, by the way, I forgot to mention that Divine Rivals had good mix of dialogue and description and clear language, so it's like easy to read, but like a good book, easy to read. And even with the fantasy aspect, like you would think also you know the ending from the first page. I don't know if the writer had to do that. I feel like that could have been saved to make a bigger impact or something, but I don't know. I feel like you would have understood what was going to happen either way if the book didn't mention it at the back. Okay, the camera basically ran out of battery, so I forgot what my train of thought was and what I was going to say, but I was just saying that it was very predictable. And it is I didn't mention, it's kind of like a young adult, teenage, coming of age type of book. But it's like very character driven, and if you do not like that, then you will not like it. Like, there's events and stuff that happen, but it's more to do with characters and their feelings and reasonings too, like as how they act the way they do, stuff like that. Anyway, if I didn't mention, the plot is basically Autumn regretting, that's it, like Autumn just regretting the things that she never said, she never did, she never expressed like her feelings and stuff like that. And that's why it's called like If He Had Been With Me, I guess. But yeah, I didn't really enjoy it that much because it was really frustrating to read it, and I didn't really get the point. Maybe I certainly didn't cry at the end. Like, I watched Sarah Caroli, who is a booktuber, who talked about this book and how she was literally crying like at the end of the book, but you already know what was going to happen, so it didn't really affect me emotionally at all. And that's why I thought, like, why not just not mention what's going to happen in the end? Like, would that not be a better thing for like the emotional aspect? I don't know, but yeah, I didn't really like the ending as well, because there was something that happened that was like supposed to like change her mind on how she acted, and I thought that was like, I don't know, cheap. I don't know, I just didn't like the ending. And a lot of people who even enjoyed this book say that they didn't like the ending, so yeah. But it's very easy to read. If you are, wondering what it's about, you can, I guess, pick it up or get it digitally. But that's basically all I read this month, these 4 books. But I really enjoyed Divine Rivals. That's a 5 out of 5. Reckless is a 1 out of 5. Flawless is a 2 out of 5. And If He Had Been With Me is a 2 out of 5. And I started reading Cleopatra and Frankenstein, which is about Cleo and Frank, and it's very much relationship driven, and it just goes into how they got married like really fast. It literally happens in the first chapter. The second chapter is like their wedding, I guess, or like after their wedding, and I thought that it was kind of boring. Like, I'm only at the start, but I think it's a little bit boring. But we will see. It's about a toxic relationship, Cleopatra and Frankenstein. this